Hey, this is the Well Advice channel too. What I want to talk about today is a topic of, does DJ Vlad deserve the hate he gets? So for this video, I will explain in a simple and straightforward way if DJ Vlad deserves the hate he gets as a person or if he doesn't, okay? In a simple and straightforward way so anyone can understand it. So now I mentioned that, let's get started. So when it comes to the hate DJ Vlad gets as a person, does he deserve the hate he gets? The simple answer to the question is no. Now, the reason why I don't believe DJ Vlad deserves the hate he gets, even though the biggest argument people give him is that he starts a lot of feuds and stuff with his interviews, and of course he gets a lot of people locked up, which of course is a very heated topic and stuff. But even in the end of the day, even if those things are true, if he's an undercover cop working for the feds, or he deliberately starts drama between rappers in order to, of course, no surprise, of course, create more drama, which will give him more content to make more videos about. The simple truth of the matter is, in the end of the day, the person who's most responsible when it comes to the issues that of course the rappers themselves and all the people who are associated with the entertainment industry, whatever, yada yada yada, get themselves in. The one who's most responsible is themselves, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, as anyone who uses common sense would know, okay, for that matter, okay, when it comes to DJ Vlad and the questions he asks for his interviews, common sense would indicate that if you are not comfortable with saying a particular freaking thing for a particular subject, for that matter, okay, you do not have to answer it. You don't have to answer it. Anyone who knows anything about interviews and lawyer school or whatnot, well, not even lawyer school, but just interviews, knows that you do not have to answer questions you do not want to have to answer. Actually, it's no procedure that before you do an interview, you're supposed to be screened and discuss the topics you're willing to discuss and the topics you're not willing to discuss. Okay. And if he doesn't do that, he can get in serious shit. The interviewer, which of course, no surprise, is DJ Vlad. That's the simple truth of the matter. Okay. And of course, common sense would also indicate that you have the right, if someone's just asking you questions that you're not comfortable with, you can always walk off the interview. Like, what, he's going to hold you against your will with a gun to your head saying that you have to stay there? It's common sense. But at the same time, no surprise, a lot of people in this world do not use common sense, and just go straight to blaming DJ Vlad for this and that. Oh, why'd you get that guy locked up and this and that? But at the end of the day, his dumbass was the one who's willing to not only just answer the questions DJ Vlad was willing to answer, as well, over a span of anywhere from maybe a few dozen minutes to even a span of, for example, maybe an hour, was willing to answer those questions when they could have just simply, of course, not answer them. They're also the ones who, no surprise, anyone who watches TV Vlad, are willing to do numerous interviews with him for some weird freaking reason. They just decide to do interviews with him all the time when they can clearly decide not to. If they want to. These people are doing well. Most of them are famous, at least modestly famous. They're definitely more well known than the average person. And they get enough money that they don't even have to really do interviews all the time for that matter if they don't want to. But they still decide to go back and back and back and back and back again to do these interviews where DJ Vlad answers, gives them questions and they decide, you know what, I'm going to answer them. And well, you see what happens in the end of the day for that matter. At the end of the day, a lot of them say all sorts of things and they end up getting locked up and put into prison because they said something about a certain situation, or they, for that matter, which they should have said, because the rule of the streets, let alone common sense, would say if you get in a serious situation with someone, especially if you, well, kill them, you don't talk about it, because then the feds can find out about what you're doing and get you in a world of shit and all that type of stuff for that matter. Common sense would indicate, but they still do it anyway. And that is the truth of the matter. So in short, DJ Vlad's not to blame. It's these rappers and all these people who decide to go on DJ Vlad who have to bear the responsibility of what they did to themselves. And That is what I have to say about the answer to the question. So no, DJ Vlad does not deserve the hate he gets. These people did this stuff to themselves. Now that that point is done, now the second point that obviously comes up, of course, is that I want to bring up more specifically is a message for this video, okay? And what this message for this video is simply realizing in the end of the day that us black people, we are gonna have to really, as a community, as a whole, move on and more specifically grow up, because there's a problem with black people. We always say every and anything is racist. This is racist, that is racist, this is racist, that is racist, this is racist, that is racist, and so on and so forth, you know, for that matter. But we need to realize that the world is not centered around just hating black people, okay? Do we have a bad reputation overall as a whole throughout the world? Let's be honest, we kind of do. But not everything that happens, or everything that happens, or every interaction, or even rude interaction you might have with someone of a different race has to be racially motivated. And specifically in this case, you know, this is not a case of racism against these rappers. You know, DJ Fly is a culture vulture. You know, he doesn't even really care for rap music as a culture. He's a white person who, you know, who's just using black people and this and that to make him famous and blah, 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 blah. All that stuff you tend to hear, you know. But the truth of the matter is, in the end of the day, the people who get in this shit, it's their fault. They're the ones who decided to run their mouth off for these interviews, who decided to put their personal business they should have left behind, and even for that matter, moved on from, for that matter. And like I was saying before, you know, they put themselves in the situation that they're in. This has nothing to do with him being a culture vulture or this and that and blah, 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 and all that stuff you hear all the time. It's dumb. It has nothing to do with the world or anything, or some conspiracy against black people. It's dumb who did that stuff. Those ignorant rappers who put their business out there and got themselves in the shit that they're in. That's the simple truth of the matter in the end of the day. And that's really about it in the end of the day. It has nothing to do with the world or this and that, or racism. It's dumb. And even though this topic specifically about DJ Vlad, it's more than just about DJ Vlad. It's this whole mentality. Everything that we do, it's a case of racism against us. It's always the whole world hates us and this and that, instead of sometimes just accepting responsibility for it. You know, whether it could be this, or even some black person gets in a situation and did something to tarnish his own reputation and yada 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 because he did something criminal. It's a case of, oh well, you know, what would happen if a white person were to do this or this and that? And it's always a victim mentality. So my main messages for this video, if there's a message to get across, is we need to stop this victim mentality in general. And sometimes realize some black people just bring things on themselves. It has nothing to do with racism or some conspiracy against black people. It's actually themselves who put themselves in the situation that they are in. And that's exactly what my message is. And this needs to stop. And this is not some right-wing bullshit. This is some left-wing stuff. You know, because I'm a left-wing person myself, okay? It's about taking responsibility instead of just this cliche shit about, oh, you know, you speak a certain way, you're a black Republican, or you speak this other way, you're a black liberal. No, I'm not playing that fucking game. I'm a black liberal because I realize that black conservatism is hates us, but at the same time, we have to realize that despite the fact of the matter that, you know, well, whatever, you know, you get the point. Like, I'm a liberal, you know, I'm still gonna speak the realest shit. I'm not gonna water it down just simply for, you know, left leaning people or for the silly political rivalry thing that's going on. And that's the truth. We need to start taking accountability. And we don't have to rely on the right wing to save us. To be honest with you, we can save ourselves on the left wing, which is the best party for us. And this is my video. This is all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed it as well as found it informative. And just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say. And simply put, I'm out. So bye.